Nathan is 67 years old, a retired schoolteacher who lives quietly with his wife in a small town. For years, he enjoyed his morning routine, a peaceful walk, a cup of coffee, and the gentle hum of his garden awakening. But lately, Nathan began to notice subtle changes. It started with a strange heaviness in his legs, an ache that didn't quite fade with rest. Then one morning, after a brief stumble on the stairs, his heart skipped a beat. Concerned, his daughter insisted he visit the doctor. The warning was clear. His circulation was weakening and his digestion sluggish, signs that his body was struggling with the quiet weight of time. This wasn't a sudden illness, but a whisper from his body asking for attention. Nathan realized that the habits he thought were harmless might need revisiting. It was not just about managing symptoms, but finding a path to renewed vitality, a way to honor the years behind him and those still ahead. His doctor spoke gently about small changes, about the power of nature's simple gifts. One of the first recommendations was something many of us overlook: starting the day with warm lemon water. At first, Nathan was skeptical. Lemon water? It sounded too simple to be true, but the promise was compelling. A ritual that could gently cleanse his liver, support his immune system, and even help his digestion awaken with ease. More than that, it felt like a moment of care he could offer himself, a quiet act of kindness at the very start of each day. Nathan embraced this small change with the hope of feeling lighter, more energized. Yet, as he began this new habit, he noticed something puzzling. Sometimes, despite drinking his lemon water faithfully, the discomfort in his stomach persisted. His energy didn't rise as expected. It was then that he learned an important truth. The timing and what comes after the lemon water mattered just as much as the drink itself. Certain foods and drinks, commonly enjoyed by many, could quietly undo the benefits he was trying to build. Nathan's mornings often included his favorite coffee, a rich, dark roast that warmed his hands and mind, but combining it immediately after lemon water stirred a harsh reaction, heartburn, and a gnawing unease that shadowed his day. Dairy products, too, once thought to be nourishing, seemed to sit heavy in his stomach, making him feel bloated and sluggish. And his daily medications, vital as they were, needed careful timing, for the acidity of lemon could interfere with their absorption, risking unintended effects. This awakening transformed Nathan's approach. He began to listen more closely to his body's subtle signals, adjusting his habits with patience and intention. He discovered that waiting between his lemon water and these common foods made all the difference. More than that, he found joy in discovering new companions for his morning ritual. Warm bowls of oats, sweet slices of papaya, and fresh green leaves that not only felt good, but worked in harmony with his new routine. Nathan's journey was not about drastic changes or quick fixes. It was about respect for his body's wisdom and the slow rhythms of aging. It was about creating space in his mornings to breathe, to nurture, and to heal. Each day began with awareness, a mindful choice to care for himself gently. Over weeks, the heaviness in his legs lessened, his digestion became steadier, and a quiet energy returned to his step. He felt a renewed connection to life's simple pleasures, a reminder that even small acts can hold profound power. This story, Nathan's journey, is one many of us share quietly. It reminds us that aging is not a loss, but a refinement, a chance to listen deeper and act with kindness toward ourselves. And sometimes, the most profound healing begins with something as humble as a glass of warm lemon water, taken with care and respect. Today, I invite you to walk with Nathan for a while to explore what this gentle ritual offers and to learn which foods to embrace and which to avoid to truly unlock its gifts. Because health, especially after 60, is a conversation between body and soul, a delicate dance that rewards those who listen patiently. Let us begin this journey together with warmth and wisdom and discover how a simple morning habit can become a quiet source of strength and renewal. Nathan had always considered himself a man of steady habits and quiet resilience. At 67, his days were marked by gentle routines, morning walks through the neighborhood, tending to his small garden, and quiet afternoons spent reading or chatting with his wife. For most of his life, Nathan had been fortunate enough to feel strong, to move without hesitation, and to greet each day with a hopeful heart. But as the seasons changed, so did his body, whispering subtle messages that he could no longer afford to ignore. It began with a heaviness in his legs, a sensation more fatigue than pain, but persistent enough to cast a shadow over his mornings. At first, he thought it was simply the result of age, something natural and inevitable. Yet that nagging feeling stayed, growing more noticeable with each passing week. One morning, as he was climbing the stairs to his bedroom, Nathan lost his footing briefly. It was a small stumble, a momentary imbalance, but it sent a chill down his spine. His heart raced, and for the first time in a long while, fear crept quietly into his mind. When Nathan shared this with his daughter, her eyes filled with concern. She insisted he visit the doctor promptly. Sitting in the clinical calm of the doctor's office, Nathan felt a mixture of apprehension and relief. The doctor explained in gentle terms that Nathan's circulation was weakening, that the muscles in his legs were not receiving the support they once had. His digestion was slower too, making him feel sluggish and less vibrant. The doctor's words were not alarming but clear. These changes were signs of the natural aging process, but they were also signals that something needed attention. Nathan left the office with a prescription and advice that felt both familiar and strange. The suggestion to begin each day with warm lemon water caught his attention. He had heard of this practice before, but never took it seriously. Could such a simple ritual truly make a difference? He wondered if it was just another fleeting health trend or something more profound. That evening, Nathan sat quietly by the window, watching the sun dip below the horizon. He thought about the many years he had lived, the moments of joy, the times of struggle, and now this invitation to care for himself in a new way. He realized that listening to his body wasn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It was an act of respect for the life he had lived and the days yet to come. The next morning, Nathan prepared a warm glass of lemon water, the citrus scent filling his kitchen with freshness. The first sip was a gentle shock, a balance of tartness and warmth that stirred something within. As the minutes passed, he noticed a soft awakening in his stomach, a sensation he hadn't felt in years. The heaviness seemed to lift slightly, replaced by a lightness that was both physical and emotional. For Nathan, this was more than hydration. It was a ritual of presence. Each morning, as he held the warm glass in his hands, he was reminded to slow down, to breathe, and to honor his body's needs. The act became a quiet meditation, a promise to care for himself with patience and kindness. It was as if the lemon water carried a message. Healing is gentle, steady, and rooted in attention. His wife noticed the change too. "You seem brighter," she said one morning, a soft smile lighting her face. Nathan felt it too, not just in his body but in his spirit. The simple act of drinking lemon water became a symbol of his willingness to embrace this new chapter, to listen more deeply to the whispers of his aging body instead of dismissing them. Yet Nathan also knew this was only the beginning. The journey ahead required more than a single habit. It demanded a shift in mindset, a readiness to observe, learn, and adjust. Some days the heaviness returned, reminding him that aging was complex and ongoing. But with each small step, with each mindful choice, Nathan felt more empowered. He was no longer a passive observer, but an active participant in his health. Nathan's story is one many quietly share, the slow realization that the body, once taken for granted, speaks in softer tones as years pass. To listen is to honor not just the physical self, but the wisdom accumulated through decades of living. For Nathan, the warmth of lemon water each morning was the first breath of a new life rhythm, a gentle nudge towards healing that required nothing but presence and care. As you walk alongside Nathan through this journey, you may recognize parts of your own story. The aches, the surprises, the moments of clarity that call us to act with compassion towards ourselves. In the coming chapters, we will explore how Nathan learns not only what to embrace, but what to avoid, how timing and balance become crucial, and how the smallest choices can ripple into profound change. This is not just a tale of lemon water or dietary shifts. It is a story of listening, of patience, and of finding strength in gentleness. Nathan's first step, paying attention to the quiet signals his body sends, reminds us all that aging, while inevitable, can be met with grace and wisdom. And sometimes the path to renewed vitality begins with a single, mindful sip. As the days passed, Nathan's new routine settled gently into his mornings. The warmth of the lemon water became a comforting presence, a small ritual he looked forward to. Yet, alongside this comfort, a puzzling discomfort emerged. Some mornings, despite his faithfulness to the lemon water habit, Nathan felt a burning sensation rising from his stomach, or a heaviness that clouded his energy rather than lifted it. He found himself wondering why this simple act sometimes seemed to lose its power. During a follow-up visit, his doctor listened carefully to Nathan's experiences. With a gentle smile, the doctor explained an important truth Nathan had not considered. The timing between drinking lemon water and consuming other foods or drinks was just as crucial as the lemon water itself. The stomach's acidity rises naturally after lemon water, preparing the digestive system for nourishment. But if something too acidic or heavy was introduced too soon, it could overwhelm the delicate balance, causing discomfort or diminishing the lemon water's benefits. Nathan recalled how he often reached quickly for his beloved morning coffee right after his lemon water. Coffee, with its strong caffeine and natural acids, was a trigger that sometimes ignited the uneasy feelings in his stomach. His doctor advised him to pause, to wait at least 45 minutes before drinking coffee or eating. This waiting period was more than a delay, it was an act of patience and respect for his body's rhythms. Back home, Nathan shared this insight with his wife. Together, they created a new morning flow, allowing Nathan time to savor the lemon water and the quiet that came with it. He would sit by the window, watch the slow unfolding of dawn, and breathe deeply, appreciating the stillness. That half hour became a gentle meditation, a sacred pause between rest and activity. Rather than a burden, the waiting became a gift of mindfulness. Nathan also began to explore gentler breakfast options to follow his lemon water ritual. His wife prepared warm bowls of oats, softened with water or almond milk, sometimes sprinkled with cinnamon or fresh berries. These foods, rich in fiber and gentle on digestion, seemed to ease the transition from fasting to feeding, supporting the work lemon water had begun. Nathan noticed his energy was steadier and his stomach no longer rebelled with discomfort. This newfound patience extended beyond just mornings. Nathan started to see his body as a partner in a dance, one that required timing, balance, and attentive listening. The desire to rush was replaced by an appreciation for process. He realized that health was not about quick fixes or forcing changes, but about gentle rhythms and thoughtful care. Within his family, Nathan's transformation inspired gentle conversations about aging and self-care. His daughter, who often worried silently, felt reassured seeing her father embrace this mindful approach. It wasn't just about lemon water or coffee, it was about choosing respect over haste, understanding over convenience. Nathan's journey became a quiet lesson in slowing down to move forward with grace. Through this phase, Nathan learned a powerful truth. Healing and vitality often flourish in the space created by patience. The simple act of waiting, of giving his body time to adjust, unlocked the subtle strength lemon water promised. This awareness planted a seed of hope, encouraging Nathan to continue exploring what else his body might need to thrive in the seasons ahead. Nathan's mornings had found a new rhythm, shaped by patience and quiet attentiveness. Yet one morning brought an unexpected challenge. Feeling nostalgic, he decided to combine his lemon water ritual with a glass of milk, a staple from his younger days that had always felt like nourishment. Almost immediately, an unsettling heaviness settled in his stomach, followed by bloating and discomfort. It was a sensation he hadn't felt in years, and it caught him off guard. His wife watched with gentle concern as Nathan shifted uneasily in his chair. "Maybe it's the milk," she suggested softly, remembering a conversation with a friend who mentioned how some foods could clash with lemon water. Nathan, intrigued but wary, made a note to ask his doctor about this curious reaction. At his next appointment, the doctor explained something Nathan hadn't fully understood before. When lemon water, rich in citric acid, enters the stomach, it creates an acidic environment. Drinking milk, which contains proteins sensitive to acidity, shortly after can cause those proteins to curdle or clot. This reaction can lead to bloating, cramps, and disrupt digestion. It was not just a matter of taste or preference, but a biological interaction that could interfere with nutrient absorption and overall comfort. Nathan was surprised to learn that even foods considered healthy or familiar might not always harmonize well with his new morning ritual. The doctor reassured him, reminding Nathan that the journey of aging often requires rethinking old habits with fresh eyes and an open mind. Adjustments didn't mean sacrifice, they meant evolution. Armed with this knowledge, Nathan and his wife explored alternatives. Plant-based milks like almond, oat, or coconut milk became part of their kitchen, offering gentler options that didn't upset his stomach or diminish the benefits of lemon water. Nathan also discovered that spacing dairy consumption by a couple of hours after his lemon water helped him avoid discomfort. This phase of his journey opened Nathan's eyes to the delicate balance within his body. It was a reminder that aging required respect for complexity, that nourishment was not just about what he ate, but when and how. Food was no longer just fuel, but a conversation with his body, a dance of timing and synergy. Nathan's willingness to learn and adapt became a quiet source of strength. It softened the frustration that sometimes came with change and replaced it with curiosity. He began to appreciate that each new insight was a step toward reclaiming vitality and joy, even if the path was winding. In his community, Nathan's story resonated with others who faced similar surprises. Together, they found comfort in sharing experiences, realizing that the wisdom to listen, adjust, and respect one's body was a gift they could cultivate every day. Nathan had embraced many changes in his routine, but one area remained both vital and delicate: his medications. Over the years, he had become accustomed to taking several pills each morning, a quiet acknowledgement of the body's evolving needs. Yet, as he incorporated lemon water into his routine, he began to wonder how these habits might interact. One day, after taking his medication immediately following his lemon water, he felt an unusual discomfort and questioned if the timing was right. During his next doctor's visit, Nathan voiced his concerns. The doctor listened thoughtfully and explained that the acidity from lemon water could interfere with how certain medications are absorbed or metabolized. Some medicines rely on specific stomach conditions to work effectively, and introducing an acid-rich drink like lemon water too close to the time of taking pills might reduce their efficacy or even cause unwanted side effects. Nathan found this surprising and a little frustrating. Medication was meant to help him stay healthy, but now it felt like another factor to carefully manage. The doctor reassured him that with mindful timing, these risks could be minimized. He suggested spacing the lemon water and medications by at least 1 to 2 hours, either taking the pills first and the lemon water later, or vice versa, depending on convenience and tolerance. Back at home, Nathan and his family adapted to this new schedule. They marked clocks and set gentle reminders, ensuring his routine honored both his body's needs and the prescription's requirements. His wife took on a quiet role as his health ally, checking in to make sure he was comfortable and managing the timing well. This adjustment was more than logistical. It was a lesson in patience and respect for the body's chemistry. Nathan realized that health was a delicate balance, one that required awareness, flexibility, and trust in the process. He no longer rushed through his mornings, but embraced each step as a mindful act, a conversation between body and habit. Though it was an added layer of complexity, this phase deepened Nathan's connection to his well-being. He learned to honor the intricate dance between nourishment and medication, appreciating that sometimes caring for oneself meant slowing down to listen carefully. His experience also became a quiet encouragement to others in his community who managed similar challenges. Nathan's story was no longer just about lemon water or diet. It was about embracing change with grace, learning from the body's signals, and finding harmony in the everyday rhythms of health. As Nathan settled into his new morning routine, something unexpected blossomed, an emerging joy in the simple pleasures of food. No longer did he view meals as just a necessary task or a source of comfort alone. They became moments of mindful nourishment, opportunities to support the quiet healing started by his morning lemon water. One chilly morning, his wife prepared a warm bowl of oats topped with fresh papaya slices and a handful of tender spinach leaves. The aroma was inviting and the colors vibrant against the soft oatmeal. Nathan hesitated for a moment, unsure if these unfamiliar combinations would suit his body, but with each spoonful, he felt a gentle lightness growing within, a sense that these foods were not just filling him but lifting him. His doctor had mentioned that whole oats, rich in soluble fiber, helped stabilize blood sugar and supported heart health, both crucial as one grows older. Meanwhile, papaya was not only sweet and soothing, but packed with vitamin A and enzymes that eased digestion. The leafy greens, dense with iron and antioxidants, complemented the lemon water by enhancing iron absorption, supporting his energy and vitality. Nathan noticed that these meals, taken thoughtfully 30 to 45 minutes after his lemon water, seemed to harmonize perfectly with the cleansing and balancing effects he sought each morning. The heaviness in his legs felt less oppressive, and the sluggishness that once greeted him was slowly replaced with steady, calm energy. More than the physical benefits, these moments at the table became a source of connection and gratitude. Sharing meals with his wife, discussing the colors and textures of the food, and savoring the rhythms of eating awakened a deeper appreciation for life's simple gifts. Food was no longer just fuel, it was a practice of self-care, a way to listen to his body's needs and respond with kindness. This newfound relationship with food rippled into other areas of Nathan's life. He found himself more curious about nutrition, open to trying new recipes and flavors that supported his health. His family noticed a lightness in his step and a brightness in his eyes. Nathan's quiet transformation was a testament to how small changes, when embraced with intention, could lead to profound shifts in well-being. Through these discoveries, Nathan came to understand that aging gracefully was not about restrictions or loss, but about embracing nourishment in all its forms, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And it all began with the simple choice to honor his body each morning, one mindful bite at a time. One peaceful morning, as Nathan sat quietly with his warm lemon water, he reflected on the months that had passed since he first noticed the heaviness in his legs. The journey had not been without its challenges, moments of uncertainty, trial and error, and the slow unraveling of habits held for decades. Yet, as he looked back, he saw not just the physical changes, but a deeper transformation taking root within himself. Nathan realized that caring for his health was no longer a series of urgent fixes, but a daily practice of gentle renewal. The simple ritual of lemon water, once met with skepticism, had become a symbol of his commitment to living with awareness and respect. He understood now that aging did not mean surrendering to decline, but embracing a new rhythm, a rhythm that honored patience, presence, and kindness. His family noticed this shift too. Conversations grew richer, not only about health, but about life, purpose, and gratitude. Nathan found joy in sharing his story, encouraging friends and neighbors to listen more closely to their bodies, to be curious and compassionate with themselves. His experience was a quiet beacon, a reminder that the path to well-being was unique for each person, but always rooted in the willingness to care. Physically, Nathan felt the fruits of his mindful choices. His legs felt stronger, his digestion more regular, and his energy steadier throughout the day. The aches that once shadowed his mornings had softened, replaced by a lightness that invited movement and connection. The worries about medication interactions and dietary pitfalls had not disappeared, but they were met with confidence and calm, guided by knowledge and careful attention. Most of all, Nathan had learned that healing is not a destination, but a journey, one that unfolds slowly, often in the small, seemingly ordinary moments. The morning glass of lemon water was more than a drink. It was a daily gesture of hope, a sacred pause that set the tone for the day. In embracing this simple act, Nathan had reclaimed a sense of agency and joy in his own health. As you journey alongside Nathan, may his story inspire you to listen deeply to your own body's whispers, to embrace change with patience, and to find strength in the gentle rhythms of care. Aging with grace is possible, not by denying the passing of time, but by choosing each day to nurture, respect, and honor the life within. As Nathan's health quietly improved, he found something equally valuable blossoming within him, a renewed sense of connection to those around him. What had begun as a personal journey toward better health slowly unfolded into a shared story, one that resonated deeply with his friends, neighbors, and family. Nathan realized that many others his age were grappling with similar challenges: the aches and fatigue, the confusion over what to eat or avoid, and the delicate balance of managing medications and lifestyle changes. In casual conversations at the local community center or during visits from old friends, he found himself sharing his experiences, not as expert advice, but as a fellow traveler offering hope and practical insight. This sharing brought Nathan unexpected joy. He noticed how simple stories about morning lemon water, waiting patiently before coffee, or discovering the gentle power of oats and leafy greens sparked curiosity and encouragement among his peers. It wasn't about preaching or telling others what to do. It was about listening, exchanging wisdom, and walking the path of aging together. Nathan's community gatherings soon included gentle discussions about health rituals, mindful eating, and the importance of patience in healing. These conversations created a space where people felt safe to express fears, ask questions, and celebrate small victories. For Nathan, this sense of belonging and shared purpose became a vital part of his own well-being. He also found himself more open to learning, from friends' experiences, from doctors' guidance, and from his own body's signals. The journey was ongoing, with new discoveries and challenges along the way, but the presence of community, of shared stories, and mutual support made it feel less daunting and more hopeful. Nathan came to understand that wellness after 60 is not a solitary path. It is woven through relationships, compassion, and the willingness to give and receive care. His story, once private and tentative, grew into a beacon of gentle strength, reminding everyone that aging with grace means embracing both body and heart. Through this chapter of his life, Nathan showed that transformation is not only about what we change within ourselves, but also about how we connect and uplift one another. The simple morning glass of lemon water had opened a door, not just to health, but to community, belonging, and shared wisdom. Nathan's journey, marked by small, daily acts of care, had transformed more than just his physical health. It reshaped his outlook on life, aging, and the power of intention. Each morning, as he held his warm glass of lemon water, he no longer saw it as a mere health habit, but as a symbol of renewal and choice. A moment where he actively embraced vitality instead of passively accepting decline. With age comes many changes, some inevitable, but Nathan learned that how we respond matters profoundly. His story taught him patience with his body, compassion for himself, and openness to continual learning. He recognized that the path to wellness was neither straight nor quick, but rich with discovery, setbacks, and growth. Looking forward, Nathan felt empowered rather than limited. The discomforts and challenges he once feared became signals guiding him to adjust and listen more deeply. He found peace in knowing that health is not a fixed state, but a dynamic balance nurtured by thoughtful habits and a caring heart. More importantly, Nathan hoped his story would inspire others to begin their own journey with kindness and mindfulness. Whether it's a glass of lemon water, a moment of patience, or the courage to try new foods, every small choice holds the power to create meaningful change. Aging gracefully, Nathan believed, is about more than physical strength. It is about cultivating a spirit that honors the body's wisdom, cherishes each breath, and walks forward with hope. And in this embrace, every day becomes an opportunity to live fully with intention and joy. Nathan's story was no longer just about a morning ritual or a list of foods to avoid and embrace. It had become a testament to the quiet strength that comes from consistency and mindfulness, two qualities often overlooked in a world chasing quick fixes and instant results. As the weeks turned into months, Nathan found that these simple principles were the true foundation of his renewed vitality. Each morning, he rose with intention. The glass of warm lemon water was not rushed, it was savored, a sacred moment that marked the beginning of his day. Nathan learned to listen deeply during these moments, not just to his body's signals, but to his own breath, thoughts, and emotions. This mindfulness created a sense of calm that carried him through the day, easing anxieties and grounding him in the present. His body, once burdened by heaviness and sluggishness, responded to this attentive care. The circulation in his legs improved little by little, and the digestive discomfort that had plagued him gradually faded. But more than physical relief, Nathan felt a subtle shift in his mindset. He was no longer at odds with his aging body, but walking alongside it with respect and patience. This transformation was not without challenges. There were mornings when Nathan felt discouraged, when old habits tempted him to rush or ignore the signals his body sent. Yet, he embraced these moments as part of the journey, opportunities to practice compassion rather than judgment. He understood that growth was not linear, and each setback was simply a step toward deeper understanding. Nathan's family became important companions on this path. His wife's gentle reminders, his daughter's curious questions, and the shared meals filled with nourishing foods all reinforced his commitment. Together, they celebrated small victories, a morning without discomfort, a leisurely walk in the garden, a restful night's sleep. These moments wove a tapestry of encouragement and hope that strengthened Nathan's resolve. Community also played a vital role. Nathan joined a local group of seniors who met regularly to share experiences and support each other in healthy living. These gatherings offered not only practical advice, but also emotional connection, laughter, and the comfort of shared journeys. Nathan discovered that wellness was as much about connection as it was about diet or exercise. The lessons Nathan learned extended beyond lemon water or dietary adjustments. He came to appreciate the importance of sleep, gentle movement, and emotional well-being. He explored simple practices like deep breathing and stretching, realizing that caring for the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, was essential to aging well. Perhaps most importantly, Nathan's journey taught him that health is a lifelong conversation with oneself. It requires listening, learning, adapting, and above all, kindness. The quiet ritual of lemon water each morning became a symbol of this conversation, a daily choice to honor life, to nurture the self, and to embrace the unfolding journey with grace. Nathan's story invites all of us to consider our own habits and attitudes toward aging. It encourages us to slow down, to listen deeply, and to find strength not in haste, but in steady, mindful care. Through consistency and compassion, we can transform small acts into profound change, fostering a vitality that carries us forward with hope and joy. As Nathan continues on his path, he carries with him a quiet confidence, the knowledge that every morning offers a new beginning, and every sip is a step toward renewed health and well-being. His story is a gentle reminder that aging is not an end, but a beautiful, unfolding chapter filled with possibility. Nathan sat quietly on his porch one cool morning, watching the soft light filter through the trees. The journey he had undertaken over the past months felt like a gentle unfolding, a dance between patience, curiosity, and self-compassion. He had come to understand that aging, while inevitable, was not a surrender, but an invitation to live with greater awareness and intention. Reflecting on where he began, Nathan remembered the early days of discomfort and uncertainty. The heaviness in his legs, the digestive troubles, the confusion over how to balance medications and diet, all had seemed overwhelming at first, but each small choice, each mindful step forward, had woven together to create a tapestry of renewed vitality and hope. The ritual of drinking warm lemon water every morning had become more than just a health habit. It was a daily affirmation of his commitment to care for himself. Nathan cherished the quiet moments of stillness it brought, the chance to connect inwardly before the day's demands. This simple act symbolized a broader mindset shift, that self-care was not selfish, but essential, that honoring the body's signals was an act of wisdom, not weakness. Nathan also embraced the lessons learned about timing and food. Waiting patiently between lemon water and coffee or meals was no longer an inconvenience, but a practice of respect for his body's needs. He had discovered joy in nourishing foods, oats, papaya, leafy greens that supported his energy and strength without discomfort. These choices grounded him, reminding him that health was cultivated through harmony rather than haste. Medication management, once a source of worry, had become more manageable through mindful scheduling and open communication with his healthcare providers. Nathan felt empowered knowing he was an active participant in his care rather than a passive recipient. This confidence radiated into other areas of his life, strengthening his resolve to face the challenges of aging with grace. Beyond physical health, Nathan's journey deepened his connection to family and community. Sharing stories, encouragement, and simple joys brought warmth and meaning to his days. He found comfort in knowing he was not alone, that the path of mindful aging was walked by many, each carrying their own hopes and struggles. Nathan often reflected on the quiet power of consistency, the way small, thoughtful actions, repeated over time, created lasting change. He no longer sought quick fixes or miracles, but valued the slow, steady work of care and attention. This approach fostered resilience, patience, and a gentle strength that carried him forward. Most of all, Nathan embraced the idea that aging was a season of life rich with opportunity. It was a time to cultivate presence, to savor moments, and to live fully in the here and now. The vitality he regained was not merely physical, but deeply woven into his spirit. As he lifted his glass of lemon water to his lips, Nathan smiled, grateful for the journey and hopeful for the days ahead. He knew there would be new challenges, but also new discoveries. With mindfulness and kindness as his guides, he felt ready to meet whatever came with an open heart. Nathan's story is an invitation to all who listen to approach aging not with fear but with curiosity, not with resignation but with intention. It reminds us that the simplest habits, when practiced with care, can become profound acts of self-love. And it shows that in every season, we can choose to nurture ourselves, honor our bodies, and live with grace and strength. Nathan's journey reminds us that true transformation begins with a simple but profound act, listening to our bodies with patience and kindness. From the early days when heaviness in his legs and digestive discomfort clouded his mornings, Nathan chose to slow down and embrace a new rhythm, starting each day with warm lemon water and a mindful pause. This gentle ritual became more than just a habit. It was a daily expression of respect for his body's needs and the wisdom to nurture himself with care. Through the journey, Nathan learned that health is not about rushing or forcing change, but about cultivating patience and awareness. He discovered the importance of timing, waiting between lemon water and other foods or medications to honor the delicate balance within. He also embraced nourishing foods that worked in harmony with his routine, supporting renewed energy and strength. Alongside these physical changes, Nathan's mindset shifted profoundly. He moved from passivity to active engagement with his well-being, learning to adapt, listen, and act with compassion. As you reflect on Nathan's story, consider your own habits and how you respond to your body's quiet signals. What small changes might you introduce with intention and patience? What rhythms of care could you cultivate that honor your unique needs? The path to vitality and grace in aging is not found in miracles, but in mindful, consistent choices. Those daily acts of kindness toward yourself that ripple into lasting well-being. Take heart in knowing that every mindful sip, every patient pause, every nourishing bite is a step toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Aging is not a decline to fear, but a journey to embrace, with hope, gentleness, and strength. May Nathan's story inspire you to begin or deepen your own journey of mindful care, welcoming each new day as an opportunity to nurture your body and soul with love and respect.